Hi. So I just wanted to come on here real quick, and for anybody interested, I just wanted to talk about these metal earth kits and some tips that I've had from building. I just built my second one. The first one I built was the Starship Enterprise, and then this one is the Space Shuttle Discovery. So these things come in a sheet of steel. This is obviously, I've poked out all the pieces. And then you secure each piece after you're bending them to the appropriate shape. So the first tip I have is to make sure you have a small set of pliers. I had a big, I think it's like 150 millimeter plier, and it worked okay, but there are certain parts where you're gonna have really small areas to work with. And for those, you really need to use a smaller plier. I got by okay on the big pliers on this particular build for the Space Shuttle Discovery, but the issue was, I'll just show you, like in smaller areas like here, it's really difficult to get like a big plier to get in there and twist it. So for me to have really secured these pieces, they're okay, actually. This one's a little bit loose, but to really have secured that in place, I should have had a smaller set of pliers in order to twist and secure it in place. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but each sheet, I'm going to use the terms that are used that I know from electronics, but each sheet is going to have male and female parts. So in order to secure each piece in place to the other piece, you insert the male bit into the female bit, and then you twist the male part. So to do that, it's good to have a small set of pliers. As you can see, this one was okay, but especially on the Starship Enterprise, I should have had a smaller set of pliers for that one. And the second tip I have is to definitely twist the male part. In some of these I did lay it flat and it's working okay, but in the Starship Enterprise I laid them all flat, and then all the pieces were super loose and they would come apart. So definitely twist 90-degree angle to really secure it in place, and that way it doesn't, like, the male part doesn't like move around and make the whole structure loose. Second tip is for your first few builds, if you really want to enjoy building these, I know some people like to go off the instructions and really, in order to like really problem solve on their own. But for your first few builds, I would follow the instructions just to understand like how their cuts on the sheets of metal correspond to what sorts of design features you're gonna find. So for example, with this top bit, you can see it's a cylinder, like a half cylinder on top, and for that you should have something like a Sharpie to bend over that bit, and then you have like these flappy bits that you have to know to push down, but you don't like remove or anything like that. So for your first few builds, I would definitely recommend following the instructions. Even if you don't, this is the bigger tip, is to look at the instructions and see what pieces you have that you should be removing. I made this mistake with this part. So this this is the engine. So this bottom part should be connected to this top part. What I didn't realize is that they were connected, so I removed it so that now it's loose. So I treated these as two separate, and they shouldn't be two separate bits. In this case, it didn't affect it too much. I can even super glue it if I really wanted to, but as of right now I won't. So like it sits in there pretty okay if I just like pop it on top, but it's loose, and it's a bit annoying when you have these types of structures to have like a loose bed. Yeah, I think that's about it. These are really fun, really sleek looking. I'm gonna put this one in my office, but as you can see, it just like, it's a steel, really malleable, relatively, right? steel. So the Discovery. I believe this is the most flown space shuttle. And it took Hubble up, I believe. So as you can see, it's really nicely detailed. And it'll, let's see. It's really nice. So it goes at about a 35-40 degree angle, I want to say. And I'll place it like maybe on top of these books. I'll show you. Let's see. So it just sits really nice, really sturdy if you build it together. Alright, it's like that. Looks like that. And so, if you're interested in building these, I would also maybe look at, I'm not sure, so I got this Discovery one as a Christmas gift, as a Secret Santa Christmas gift, and with this one, this was much easier than the Starship Enterprise. That's because, well, first of all, the Enterprise was my first build, so I made some mistakes along the way. But it was also more complicated in terms of the pieces. That one came with 2 sheets of metal, so you had more flying parts. So each one's going to be a little bit different. This, I'm sure, is one of the easier ones to build. It says 14 plus. I'm not sure if they all say that. But really easy to build. It took me under an hour with some distractions to put this together. If you're really an expert at building, this shouldn't take you long at all. It'll really teach dexterity. And I really enjoy doing these as a form of meditation. I think, like, if I'm really stressed out and I come home and I'm watching TV or a movie, I just tune out and I sort of numb myself to what's going on around me. In this case, I'm using creative energy and I'm working my brain, but I have a task that I know that there's an ending to, and problems I can definitely solve. So you're working on something and you're solving something, and you're allowing your brain to find a solution to a problem. So I think it's a great form of meditation. So I just put that together. Is there anything else? I think that's about it. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope maybe it helped somebody. If not, oh well. But I really recommend these. I really enjoyed them, and they're a lot of fun. So, bye.